Kia ora, folks. This is a short video to explain what it is that you need to do for Achievement Standard 2.3 in Media Studies, which is representation. The topic we've picked is the representation of women in music videos. The standard is worth 3 credits and takes about 3 weeks to complete the report. Your job is to show that you understand how representation works in the media in a given context. Our context is music videos. For a merit, you need to show in depth understanding, and for an excellence, you need to show critical understanding, which means you need to think not just about what's happening, but why it's happening, and evaluate how effective it is or what impact it's going to have on viewers, and then back that up with some evidence. So what you need to do is choose 3 music videos from the same musical genre. So that might be pop music, it might be rap music, hip hop, heavy metal, jazz. 3 music videos by different artists from the same genre. And then for each video, you need to analyze how has the representation of women in these music videos been crafted. So things you might look at will be things like costume and camera work and lighting and choreography that helps to create these female characters. You might look at the difference between the version of that style of character that's shown in the video compared to the real world. So if it's a gangster stereotype, what does this gangster character look like compared to a real life gangster? Looking at stereotypes, values, and messages contained in the video. So what is it telling us about women? What's it showing us about women in general using these particular characters? You might ask or investigate why the representation has been created this way. That might be your opinion about why it was made this way, or you might go find a quote from the music video director or the artist about why they chose to represent themselves or their background dancers in the way that they have done. And then you need to describe what effect this kind of character, this kind of representation is going to have on the people who see these videos. So, what effect does it have on individuals, the psychology of that, and what effect does it have on society? And if you can back that up with some research, a quote or two from some research sources, then that's the kind of thing that's going to help with excellence. So, first step is going to be to choose the genre of music you want to focus on. So, do you want to look at rap? Do you want to look at heavy metal, jazz, and so on? You then have to find a music video that has at least one woman in it. Could be multiple women in the music video, because we're looking at the representation of women, and if the video doesn't have any in it, you can't do it. You then have to watch the video and look closely at things like costume and camera shots and lighting, what sorts of characters we're seeing and what the characters are doing. I think it's a good idea to take a couple of screenshots while watching the video so that you can later refer back to those very quickly. And in fact, you can put them in your report and right beside them what the costume looks like or what the camera angle was for that character. I think that's pretty helpful. It's not compulsory. I would definitely do it. The assignment template document looks like this one on the screen here. It says 2.3 representation of women in music videos. You can write straight onto the document. It is not compulsory to take any kind of notes first, but if you want to, you can take notes about each video first. You can make a document and just throw down your initial impressions of the video, put the screenshots in there, and then come back to this document to write the report. For this year, we have structured the report as a table. You will literally write your final report in the boxes in this table. So look on Google Classroom, go find your copy of this document and write your answers in it, and then you're good to go. You can put screenshots in the boxes as well. Things you should write about: what happens in the music video, what kind of female characters do we see, how are film techniques used to create this particular representation, this stereotype or this character? What effect do you think this music video might have on viewers? Why do you think it was created this way? And then if you can back those things up with what does the research say about the effects of music videos, or what does the director say about why they crafted that representation, that really helps to make your interpretation more convincing if you can compare it to some research or to a comment from the director. Which bits focus for achieved? So if you are wanting to get to the achieved initially to make sure you've got that under your belt, then you need to focus on what happens in the video, what kind of characters do we see, what sort of representations or stereotypes or what kinds of characters are they, and how are film techniques used to create those stereotypes or characters. If you can do those things, which is typically the first few boxes on each of the videos, then you can get to an achieved. To add to that for merit and excellence, you need to start thinking about why the representation was created in this way and what effect it's going to have on people who see it. And if you back that up with some secondary source material, to like a quote from a psychologist or a bit of research or the director, that really helps elevate that through the merit grade up to an excellence. This assignment typically takes about 2.5 weeks of class time to work on. So once we get started, you have about 2.5 weeks of class time. You can work on it outside of class as well. And when you hand in that document, we will go through it and have a look at what grade we think you should get. Remember that this is NCA and you can only resubmit an assignment. So if you don't quite get everything you wanted down, if you get a not achieved, you can resub for an achieved. You cannot resub for a merit or excellence grade. So if you're gunning for that excellence grade, get early feedback. Get some feedback when you're halfway through to make sure you're writing to an excellent standard, so that when you hand it in on the day it's due, then you are most likely to get the grade you're gunning for, you're aiming for, and not going to be disappointed by falling short because you didn't seek that feedback early. Early feedback is really valuable. If you get not achieved, you can resub for an achieved. You can't resub for merit or excellence though. So if you want those grades, do it early, get the feedback early, and then be confident when you hand it in on the due date, it's going to be up that merit or excellence grade that you were aiming for. So good luck analyzing the representation of women in music videos. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it. And I hope you're able to use your critical thinking skills to show your understanding of how representation works in the media in the context of music videos. Good luck.